Hello, good morning. Welcome to Gaming Insight Daily for Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. I'm Steve Saylor. This is your sometimes daily show of gaming news, accessibility news, or updates about my life. I have coffee in my PlayStation mug today. And today is going to be basically talking about just kind of some stuff from Gamescom that I've been looking at. Of course, Gamescom Opening Night Live happened. We'll show a little bit kind of the announcements or everything we got announced at Opening Night Live. I'm finding it very hard to be able to decide on which stories to be able to do because there's just so much news coming out of Gamescom, and I'm not seeing a lot in regards to accessibility being shown at Gamescom. I literally tried to be able to watch the Opening Night Live yesterday, and the only thing I was able to glean was like one thing from Lego Batman, which was announced, which I'll get to in a minute. But it's difficult to be able to talk about gaming news and accessibility when there's so much gaming news, but no one is concentrating or focusing on accessibility or is having accessibility as part of the marketing. And that's getting frustrating and more as these type of events happen. And when you're not there, it's kind of hard to be even to kind of get any information because no one's really covering it from covering anything from an accessibility angle at these events. So I'm trying my best to be able to find anything, and there's just not a heck of a lot. I found two things so far. I just watched the Xbox sort of live show from Gamescom, and they talked about some of the things for the Xbox Ally, their ROG Xbox Ally. If you know me, you know I love my handhelds. I've been looking forward to a proper Xbox handheld, and this may not be one from first party, but it is from the same company who makes one of my favorite my daily driver of a gaming handheld, other than the Switch 2, which is the ROG X, my original ROG X, or not just the ROG Ally. It's not even the Ally X. It's like the launch sort of Ally from a couple years ago, and it still runs great. I will say that battery life is definitely something I'm struggling with a lot on it, but I'm really hoping that maybe when if I can get my hands on an Xbox Ally X, that it will definitely I could definitely see a mass improvement. And what they showed off was that there was definitely an Xbox full screen experience. They even had a live demo of it, which was pretty cool. But again, the only thing I was able to glean from accessibility wise was that they have an Xbox handheld compatibility program that basically will evaluate games to be whether they're going to be playable on their Xbox handheld, and they are looking at things like to be able to help get developers. It's basically a development program, so developers can be able to get their games compatible with the Xbox handhelds, and one of them being text size and controller compatibility. So that I think is accessibility. Sure, yes, I would love to be able to see games be able to have the ability to be able to increase text size and be able to remap properly for controller, and be able to navigate with controller a little bit easier. But that's all I talked about. That's it. That's the news. I was thought about, I could just show the whole thing, or I could talk about sort of like the overlay or stuff, but it's like, that's it. That's all I can kind of get. So I asked you to kind of bear with me with a lot of these in the news announcements. I'm trying to go through as many as I can, but it's the thing that I wish that I could help change the industry for is just getting more studios and more PR companies talking about accessibility. Because right now it's always an afterthought. And yeah, there are companies that do talk about accessibility. Xbox is definitely one of those, Ubisoft being another, and there's other studios that have done it too, but they never really get to discuss it in a way that actually brings a lot of people the same level of hype as anything else. Like even watching Opening Night Live again, I heard of one mention of any of at least like something that was regards to accessibility, and that was it. Like I love this industry. I love being able to cover this industry, but and I want to be able to cover it from an accessibility perspective, and I want to be able to give that context. It's just, I don't know. I'm kind of sad about it in and of itself. So anyway, but let's talk about, like, I guess just from outside of an accessibility perspective, what did Opening Night Live give us as far as announcements? And I can give my sort of thoughts on what I personally would think of what they announced and what was shown, what I'm personally interested in, regardless of accessibility. So thankfully, IGN actually has a video that basically that shows everything announced at Gamescom Opening Night Live 2025. So it's an 8-minute 50 video. We're gonna go through at least everything as best as possible, but we'll pause as need be for stuff. But here we go. So here's the video. I'm gonna turn this down just a tiny bit. All right, this is the Resident Evil Requiem. I will say this pretty much coming February 27th, 2026. This showing of gameplay and a little bit of the backstory of the main character you're gonna be playing, Grace Ashcroft, probably was the best way to be able to showcase this game. I was hooked. I was on the edge of my seat of what was happening. So I'm looking forward to that. We got Ghost of Yotei, a little bit of an updated trailer for this. Looks cool, but they did announce Ghost of Yotei Legends, which is going to be which will be launching, I think they said 2026. For Ghost of Yotei, if you don't know Ghost at least the Legends mode, Ghost of Tsushima Legends was the multiplayer version of Ghost of Tsushima, and it was co-op. But it was also a lot of fun. I played it with my friends, and some of the accessibility that was built into the game actually did transfer over. I'm really hopeful for this game to be able to have at least a decent amount of accessibility, because they did actually pioneer some accessibility that I really did enjoy, including just the way they tackled color blindness with Kurosawa mode. And I know it wasn't intentionally accessibility, but it just definitely worked out in that favor. So I'm really curious to see what Sucker Punch is going to be able to do with that feedback, that accessibility feedback that hopefully that they got, and be able to include that into the game. I don't know anything about accessibility. I've not worked on it. I don't know anything about it. So I'm hopeful, and I'm really hopeful based off of what they put into Ghost of Tsushima, that I hope that they were able to improve since then. But hearing that Ghost of Yotei Legends is going to be coming in next year is really, really cool. And so you can be able to pick up the full game of Ghost of Yotei on October 2nd, which is great. Then we got a look at Call of Duty Black Ops 7. I think this is what this is. And it definitely looks weird and wild, and knowing that sort of that Raven Software has been working on this campaign as well, and Treyarch is continuing forward with this. That's why it's Black Ops 7 shortly after, obviously the next year after Black Ops 6. But what's really cool is, from what I was able to hear, excuse me, was that there will be 4-player co-op for the campaign. So you can be able to play the campaign with friends. But what's cool is that once you finish the campaign, they have an end game where it's basically it looks like combat arenas that essentially are like increasing in difficulty, and then just sort of will overwhelm you, and you have to try to be able to survive as much as you can. But what's cool about that is that it's PvE. So if you are just don't want to play PvP like games like at all, or don't enjoy the PvP aspect of Call of Duty, you can be able to just play the campaign and then still continue to keep playing it with friends in a PvE setting, which is, I love that. I will probably play that and play the shit ton out of it. So I'm looking forward to be able to grab some of my friends and basically just jump into the end game aspect. And I think that is cool. It's a great way to be able to extend the campaign even further, and giving a new different mode other than just zombies as a multiplayer PvE sort of setting. So I'm very curious about that. And apparently that 4-player co-op or 4-player squad actually kind of is throughout the entire every mode of the game. So whether it's zombies or Warzone or just multiplayer, you can be able to play with the same 4-player co-op. So that's really cool. And then we've got I'm trying to remember what this one was. This was actually, I think, in the pre-show. I don't remember what it was. Absalom. It's coming October 9th. Looks cool. It's coming for PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and Steam. Definitely the platformer 2D sort of art style. And then this one, I think, was also This was one I was like, yeah, okay. I couldn't even remember. It's like La Divina Commedia. Anyway, wish list now on Steam. Looks like kind of a Souls-like. Yeah, it's okay. This one though, Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight. Looks like that they're taking the Arkham style of gameplay and fitting it in with a Lego skin, which I think is awesome. It looks like it's going to be kind of having some of the best of moments from all the Batman movies, because it definitely had some moments from Dark Knight Returns, and including the Batman. So I'm really excited to be able to play this, and this was also what they talked about as far as potential accessibility. This is the only thing that they mentioned, was that they, for the first time in a Lego Batman game, they're including difficulty modes. Yes, the Lego Batman has kind of been known as sort of it's pretty simple gameplay, or at least approachable gameplay for as many people as possible, but they're including a Cape Crusader and Dark Knight mode, or difficulty modes, where you can be able to, if you want a little bit of a challenge with your Lego Batman game, you can totally do that. And this has probably been the most excited about a Lego game I've like in a long time. Even other than Lego Horizon Adventures, I just love when Lego can be able to do stuff like this with IPs in a way that still makes it feel like it's really cool, instead of just a straight sort of like Lego whether it's Lego Star Wars kind of game. Like, I like playing through the movies, but I'm like, I want something new. I want something sort of a little bit of a different take. And I like that with Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, it's going to go from his beginnings all the way to several years in of being the Batman. So I think that's cool. I'm looking forward to it. This is probably the game of the show for me for opening night live. Honestly, I was very surprised by it. I want to play this. I can't wait to be able to play this, and they say it's coming out next year, so looking forward to that. That's very cool. All right, we got Age of Empires 4 coming to PlayStation 5 on November 4th. Yes, that's right. Another Xbox game is coming to PlayStation, so if you want to be able to trebuchet out on your PS5, you can totally do that. This was another like an anime style game that I don't really know much about at all. It looks, I can't even tell what the gameplay is like, but it's called Enfield. It's from PS5, Windows, App Store, and Google Play, so it's probably going to be a free-to-play sort of gotcha game, maybe. I don't know. And what's this? Oh, this is the Black Myth Wukong sequel. I can never pronounce Zong Kui or Song Kui Kwai. It basically the sequel to Black Myth Wukong from last year. It's coming. They've announced that they're not even just doing DLC. They're just basically just going straight into a new sequel. So good for them. Good for Game Science. Next up, we got this Fox platforming thing. I never actually. Oh, Bubsy. It's right. This was in the pre-show. I didn't really watch all the pre-show. I missed it, about 15 minutes of it. But Bubsy 4D. If you remember the Bubsy series, it's from Atari. It's gonna be. You can wishlist it now. It's gonna be available on Switch, Switch 2, Xbox, PS5, PS4, Steam, Epic Game Store, and GOG.com. Very cool. And what is this one? Oh, this was kind of like an MMO. It was Cinder City. It kind of had this. It's from NCSoft. Didn't really know much about it. Sort of like kind of like a Division style futuristic shooter thing. That's an sort of like an MMO. So yeah. Chronos. This one I'm excited for. I love the Bloober team. It's the only kind of games that I enjoyed the horror element from, because they did the Medium, which was the Xbox Series X launch title, and also Silent Hill 2 remake, which was one of my favorite horror games, especially when it comes to accessibility. So the fact that Bloober team is working on creating another original IP. It's coming September 5th, so it's literally 2 weeks away, and it's going to be on Steam, Xbox Series X and S, PS5, Epic Game Store, Nintendo Switch 2, and GOG.com. And I'm going to probably play this on the Switch 2 because I want to play this on there. So this is going to be great. Looking forward to that. Then you got a Cult of the Lamb update. You're going to have a DLC called Woolhaven that's coming 2026, set on a mountain. You got no update for Deadpool VR. This one I'm kind of like not really super interested in. It's gonna be available this year on the MetaQuest 3 and 3S. I'm still yet to be sold on Neil Patrick Harris as Deadpool. Not to say that he's not a bad actor. I love Neil Patrick Harris. He's great. But I don't know if I want, like, if I like him as Deadpool. We'll have to see. Anyway. Next up, we have, I have no idea what this is. I can't remember what this one is. There was a lot of games that kind of are like this that in Opening Night Live where it's like, sure. I don't know what it is. It's Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion, coming September 5th. You can pre-order now. Available PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Steam. And yeah, it's all right, cool. Oh, and Switch too. Cool. Oh, this one actually looked Death by Scrolling, where it's a 2D sort of asymmetric kind of game. It's similar if you play like stuff like Pokemon or Zelda or Stardew Valley, has that kind of same kind of similar art style, but you have to basically keep moving up because it's a vertical scroller. It's so if the world will scroll up and you have to vertically, and you have to basically try to be able to stay ahead of it, otherwise you die. And it's called Death by Scrolling. You can upgrade your stuff. It's a neat idea. I don't know if I'll be able to play it or what kind of accessibility it's going to have, but you can be able to wishlist it now. And it's okay. Then they've got Delta Force has an update. Play it now, free on console. We already know that. This one was also in the pre-show. It's Densha I don't know how to pronounce it. It looks like anyway. I don't know what it is. And then we've got which one was this one? Oh, Enshrouded. You can play it now on Steam. Cool. Not really that my cup of tea. What was this one? Europav Universalis. It's from Gearbox. Looks like basically an Anno 1800 or whatever, Anno series or Civilization 7 kind of thing. So okay, cool. We got the trailer for the season 2 of Fallout, which is coming December 19th, I think they said, or at least in the trailer. Yeah, sorry, it's December 17th. Looks cool. They're basically Lucy's on the search for her father, and whether or not she's going to consider him a bad guy or good guy, who knows? But she's going to be traveling with the ghoul, heading to New Vegas, because we got Justin Theroux shown as Mr. House. What's also interesting, Macaulay Culkin's going to be in this season. Yeah, that's right, the kid from Home Alone. He's going to be in the season. We don't know what he's playing yet. Well, maybe he is. I haven't looked into it, but he's talking about it. He's talking about that he's in it. So I'm curious to see it. I love the first season of Fallout. Definitely want to see more of it, and we're going to see it in December. So looking forward to that. It'll be on Amazon Prime. Next, we've got more updates for Silent Hill F. It's just basically a new trailer or is that Silent Hill F? No, never mind. It's not. Oh, it's Onimusha. That's why. Okay, has a similar sort of thing. Onimusha Way of the Sword got a really creepy sort of trailer for that. No updates other than that. At least as far as I know. We got Fate Trigger. Cool. Early access next year or Q1 2026. We got a Monster Hunter Wilds and a Final Fantasy 14 crossover, where both are crossing over from each game. So you have some stuff from Final Fantasy 14 coming into Monster Hunter Wilds, and you have some Monster Hunter Wilds stuff coming into Final Fantasy 14. I love those kind of crossovers. So perfect idea for them. Fortnite is going to be partnering up with Squid Game. You're going to be able to have a Squid Game type games in Fortnite. It's called Creator Made Games, and it's gonna be available then. We got a He-Man sort of arcade style fighter or fighter game. It's called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Dragon Pearl Destruction. It's coming soon to PS5, Steam, Xbox Series X and X, and Nintendo Switch. And is it Bitmap Bureau? So I don't think it's made by the same folks who did the TMNT Shredder's Revenge or those, or the upcoming Marvel, or is it Marvel Cosmic? Anyway, it doesn't look like, I don't think it's made by the same folks from there, but looks cool. Looks very similar. Then we got a Sekiro animated series coming to Crunchyroll that's exclusive to them. It's called Sekiro No Defeat, and it's coming exclusive then. We finally got our first new look at Hollow Knight Silksong, and that's all we got. We're supposedly going to have an update tomorrow, as far as hopefully we'll see a release date, and hopefully it'll be coming soon. I'm shooting probably September seems to be the kind of the right sort of time frame for it, because we just got the news that obviously the Xbox Ally is going to be coming out October 16th, and we've been told that Saylor Night Silksong will be available to play on the Xbox Ally X. So I guess it means it's going to be released between now and October 16th. And then we got another look, or this is look, Honor of Kings World. Yeah, okay. Didn't really fully interest me that much. We got a new trailer for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, the Order of Giants DLC, which is coming in 2 weeks on September 4th. I can't wait to be able to play this. It's going to be available on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox and PC, Xbox Cloud, Steam, PS5, and GeForce or NVIDIA GeForce RTX enabled, I guess. But what was a cool announcement of it too was that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will also be available on the Nintendo Switch 2 next year. They didn't give another a firmer release date other than 2026. But if you know me, I love the Indiana Jones game. It was my favorite game from last year, and it has great accessibility too. And so I would definitely recommend trying it out. And if you were holding out for playing it, hoping it'll come to another console, I'd say definitely recommend. If you have a Switch 2, get your. I will gladly play this game on Switch 2 again, just because I want to play this again. So yeah, definitely recommend that, and I'm looking forward to Order of Giants DLC coming in 2 weeks. We got a new update for Inzoi, which is made by Crafton. This is kind of like the Sims type game, but using Unreal's meta-human creator. So basically makes the characters a little bit more lifelike than necessarily just the Sims. They got Inzoi Island Getaway, which apparently I think is available really soon, or actually it's already out now. This looks interesting. Yeah, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. I don't know. It's okay. It's a first-person shooter, kind of weird and wacky. It's got monsters, zombies, stuff. Early 2026. Excuse me. And then we got like a really long trailer for World of Tanks. September 1, I guess. What did it say? It was September 1st. Oh, it's World of Tanks 2.0, so it's basically a new version of World of Tanks. It's going to be available in North America on September 3rd. Cool, awesome. We got a new update for Kingdom Come Deliverance, Legacy of the Forge, which is a new DLC. It's more where you get to do some blacksmithing stuff. That'll be available on September 9th. We have a pixelated game here. I think this is in the pre-show called Long Gone. Looks cool, interesting. And then another looks like a potential Souls-like. Oh yeah, Lords of the Fallen 2 coming 2026. Yeah, this is Moonlighter 2. It's coming early access, I think November or October, it said. Let me kind of skim past this. October 23rd, early access. And it's going to be available for Steam and Xbox. And then we got another sort of kind of, I guess, a gotcha sort of game. This was like one of those kind of like played during the commercial. So we've got Neverness to Everness. Okay, you can pre-register now, and it's going to be available on PC and mobile and also on PS5. As well. We got a new trailer for Ninja Gaiden 4 coming very soon. Looks cool. Whether I'll play it or not, I don't know. I've heard it can be difficult, so we'll see if we're going to have any accessibility on that. Available October 21st. Then we have this. I think it's Outlaws, basically a handful of missions remaster from Lucas Arts. That's going to be available or pre-order now. No data as of yet. And then this is another one, I think, from the pre-show too. Oh yeah, Project Spectrum. Looks creepy, looks scary. Okay, this one looked interesting though. This was sort of what I thought was going to be basically a road or truck simulator set in the US. It's basically a truck simulator, but brand kind of a different sort of franchise or different game. It's called Road Kings. It's going to be available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. This one was. I trying to remember what this it was. Yeah, okay, Routine. Yeah. looks creepy. Looks kind of like more real, has like a realistic look, kind of like that found footage camcorder sort of look, and it looks like it's a horror game. So okay, and then, yeah. Anyway, and then we got another World of this is a tank sort of thing. It's called Heat. Okay, another update for Silent Hill F. Yeah, not really much. I was already kind of interested in it because of Silent Hill, but it's coming out September 25th. We got a crossover between Pac-Man and Sonic. Same deal as Monster Hunter Wilds and Final Fantasy 14. They're crossing over to each other for racing. And then we've got this really creepy, sort of weird Souls-like, I guess, hack and slash. It's called Swords of Legends. Okay. We've got the Darkest Files. I think you're piecing together or investigating the different sort of things in a not like a. It looks like it's a political type game where you're basically kind of fighting for democracy, I guess, in that sense. So looks interesting. Then we got a companions trailer for Outer Worlds 2. And they did confirm that you can't sleep with any of them. So if you're interested in that, that's unfortunately not gonna be for you. It's gonna be coming out October 29th. And then we've got a new update, or what is this one? I don't recognize this one. This might have been in the pre-show potentially. The 7 Deadly Sins Origin coming with closed beta test, available now, I think it said. This one looked interesting. It's called Time Breakers or Time Takers, and it's sort of like a hero shooter BR type thing that looks interesting. Basically you're kind of pulled from different parts in time, and you're trying to be able to fight an enemy, but every time you defeat an enemy, instead of gaining points, you're gaining time. So time is your currency. So I'd be very curious to see how that works, but it kind of has like a Fortnite sort of BR sort of take. Looks interesting. That's probably the only thing that looked interesting about like from out of those kind of type games. So looks cool. Unbeatable. It's rhythm based sort of kind of, not say cozy, but a rhythm based indie sort of how do I describe it? Kind of, I don't know. I sort of think of it as sort of like Life is Strange sort of style kind of story, if that makes sense, or like Lost Records kind of style. It's coming out November 6th of this year. I've seen trailers for it. It looks cool. And then this one, I can't remember what this one was. Valor Mortis. Okay, cool. Join the playtest now. And then what else we got? Oh yeah, sorry. This is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 finally coming out on October 21st. This one, actually, I remember seeing Andy Cortez being really excited about this sort of first-person shooter. Has kind of like a pixelated cyber digital sort of aesthetic. Looks interesting. Voidbreaker. It's out now. And then we've got, this one was a Warhammer RTS type game, Dawn of War 4. And then we also have a game sort of made from the same people who made Disco Elysium, called Zero Parades, in the same kind of like art style and gameplay from that. Then we got the opening cinematic for World of Warcraft Midnight, the brand new expansion for that. Blizzard always kicks ass with these kind of these cinematics, so looks really, really cool. Whether or not it'll get me back to play World of Warcraft, I don't know. I haven't played in probably 20 years for very good reason, so I don't know if I'll be able to handle it, but it's coming next year, and you can be able to pre-purchase now. And that is kind of basically it, what was announced during Opening Night Live. Once again, I'm kind of like, I'm sort of hit or miss with it. I think from as far as games that were for me personally, I would say I would kind of have to rate this a 6 out of 10 for me, but that's not to say that that is across the board or what I think how people should sort of think of the Opening Night Live for 2025 to be. I always say every time there's a showcase or a direct or a Game Awards or Summer Game Fest, there's always going to be games that are for other people and not yourself. And you know, you always hear maybe this game is just not for you, and that's more in regards to personal taste. That's not necessarily games that are are playable for you. That I think that's a whole other different thing, argument altogether in regards to accessibility wise, but there are some games will hit for some people, some don't, and it's all subjective. So I think I would say if there's any games that looked interesting to you, then that's awesome. great. Like I hopefully you can be able to play it, at least for accessibility, or just hopefully you'll be able to play it and enjoy it. But for me personally, as far as games that were interested in me, that's where I would give it a 6 out of 10. It was okay. I kind of got a little bored near the middle there because there was just some games that I just didn't really have any interest in, and a lot of games kind of blend together, to be honest. They're definitely hitting on the trend of a Souls-like. Basically, they're trying to be able to build up a game kind of like an Elden Ring, because that's popular, it's trending, and I'm looking forward to when that kind of trend sort of ends. Not to say that I don't think that there should be more games like Elden Ring. If people enjoy them, then they should be able to play them. But it just seems that that's what everyone is creating now, and also they're creating these like multiple different genre mashing sort of things that I think just needs to go away. You need to stop adding genres into descriptions of games, because the more and more you add, the more it just gets like you're trying to be able to be everything all at once, and you're basically make a great game first and then try to be able to add on different things. But when you have like I tweeted this out, or I posted this on Blue Sky, I don't need a survival horror, sci-fi, fantasy, action, adventure, PvPvE, 8-player co-op, a Souls-like hack and slash online gotcha on anime RPG. That's what's becoming like with a lot of these games. So I'm sorry, if you need to have more than 3 genre descriptors for this to be able to describe your game, you're not working hard enough to be able to figure out what makes your game stand out and makes it unique. So that's basically just my thoughts on it. Anyway, I would love to be able to hear your thoughts on Opening Night Live or anything from Gamescom. If there's anything that I missed that you want me to talk about, or anything you want me to take a look at that you found, please let me know in the comment section down below. But is there any game that you found interesting from Opening Night Live? I'd love to be able to hear your thoughts on it, and what games you're excited about playing, and maybe tell me why. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a great one. There won't be an episode tomorrow, because there will be an episode tomorrow for Thursday, because I do have a thing that I'm going to later in the afternoon. I'll be at Fan Expo this weekend, so I'll have an episode tomorrow, but I unfortunately will not have an episode on Friday. I have to be at Fan Expo because I'm going to be running a charity stream raising money for Princess Margaret Children's Hospital. I'll be playing some Magic the Gathering. I'll be doing some Magic the Gathering Arena and opening up some packs. If you donate, I'll be able to I haven't set the dollar amount yet, but if you donate to open up a pack, I will open up a pack right then and there on stream, and that'll be from 10 a.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Eastern, so I'll be streaming for then. So yeah, hopefully to be able to see you there. Otherwise, see you tomorrow, and yeah, we'll talk to you then. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.